fight set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through.
And right away, he lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him a gain of 38.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their efficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Yellow waiting.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Breeze. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Jonathan Allen, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Looking to throw on 2nd. Here's Kelly. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, the Falcons will call on Matt Bosher to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be fielded at the 17. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
From midfield, here's Breeze. And a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Breeze now on first down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Coleman. And some room to work. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Kelly stripped. The ball is free. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
On 2nd down, Kelly. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got deep.
Now Breeze lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Staying on his feet. He fights him off. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Shotgun now for Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball.
And got his man complete. He's at the 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. Falcons. Julio Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route, because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. We're back to New Orleans after this. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs. And
confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. Kelly now looking to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, I need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Kelly. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. To throw, Kelly. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. Third and goal. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bryant's kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, Kellen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going for the deep ball. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Returnable here from the 38. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position. I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1. Again, it's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Here we go. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter. Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Nifty move. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Breeze now on first down. But it's caught on the right side of Smith. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Breeze now. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. In for the score. And the Saints have moved out in front.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And here now come the Falcons. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Kelly to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Detroit!
Here's Kelly operating from the gun. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
play fake. Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Breeze. Going up. He's got a man. Complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. On play action, now Breeze. Over the middle to Smith. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And Lutz's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out come the Falcons now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
This one caught by Ridley. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Coleman now. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now a 1st down throw. Kelly. Wide open receiver, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Kelly. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Kelly. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Operating from the gun, Kelly. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Kelly. It's caught. Jones. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Julio Jones, the lone receiver left. Kelly operating from the gun. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Now Kelly to throw on 2nd down. Stepping up, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. It's their quarterback, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Falcons draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
On 4. 95, 56, 95, 56.
Bree's going to throw here. And he goes out right around the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw, Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
To throw is Breeze. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it. And they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Saints, they will indeed finish over 500 at 9-7. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season.